extremely close contest between these guys. Probably can compete against each other 10 times and each would probably win half.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So where do we stand after the Mexico Pro prejudging? Well, I have got to say some of these promoters, they will never learn about the importance of a decent background and good lighting. When it comes to all these bodybuilding shows, I do not think that Regan Grimes is looking that off, as the lighting and that backdrop is making him look. And as we are on the topic of Regan, let's also clarify one thing. The reason why he never seemed to have a good tan on him, that is because he's allergic to Protan, which is the only option that these guys have before the show. So if we look at that high definition video of Sean Carrida taken by the same photographer, the light is even making him look washed out. And Sean, as we all know, is one of the grainiest looking man, one of the most conditioned men out there, no matter what. So that terrible lighting, that is making all the difference here. And that is why everybody out there, they are looking kind of bad, even Tonio Burton. So the one thing that was clearly very different, in a negative way, for Sean here, is that his stomach that wasn't as tight as it was at the past weekend at the Olympia this year. Now, if we look at this footage of the top 3 taken from his cell phone, that shows that all the 3 guys, they are in a very good condition. So I have seen many comments directed towards Regan that he was in a guest posing condition, and that was based on this HD video. But if you look at this, the deep separation in his quads, front to back, that tells you a different story. So we had a big first call out, and there were some big and very known names in there. Regan, Tonio, Sean, Hassan Mustafa, and Tim Budesham. So Hassan Mustafa is also a multiple times former Olympian, and he did come in with a more controlled midsection compared to what we saw at France Pro this year. So easily the biggest and the most muscular guy on that stage. But the condition that still wasn't there, especially from the back, that was a big issue, and that is why he is out of top 3. So Tonio Burton was obviously the favorite going into this show, and he also showed us all why the man is top 8 in the world. One of the craziest X-frame and amazing V-taper in men's open at the moment. And I have got to say, after Andrew Jagged, Tonio Burton probably has the best lat spread in the open bodybuilding. So kind of crazy to think that Regan outweighs him by over 35 pounds. But if we look at that comparison, Tonio looks so compact and so packed with such dense and quality muscle top to bottom, having a better overall symmetry and aesthetics than even Regan Grimes. Now people do not give Tonio Burton enough credit, but he has been one of the most consistent guys in the open bodybuilding, and he always comes in 100% on every single bodybuilding stage in every single show. And talk about having an awesome midsection and the control. This picture of him, Sean and Hassan Mustafa, that pretty much shows you why Tonio is such a dangerous IFBB pro. So the judges gave all the 3 competitors, Regan, Tonio and Sean, a chance to stand in the middle. But Tonio Burton spent the most time in the middle. And as expected, Tonio Burton wins the Mexico Pro and punches his Olympia ticket. So he will be the one to watch out for, as he's now looking at a long off season ahead, and he's going to have plenty of time to put on some solid muscle, some quality mass, before it is time to step on the stage again. So Regan, I have got to say, will be relieved that he did not lose to Sean a second time in his career. So Regan in second, Sean in third, Hassan Mustafa in fourth, and Tim Budesham in fifth. Before you scroll or blink too hard, have you subscribed yet? Please don't make me bring out the emotional blackmail. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. It's free, it's painless, and that makes me look way cooler than I actually am. So the other big show that went down this weekend, that was the Muscle Contest Brazil, and that was in Classic Physique, where Terence Ruffin, a top 3 Olympian, was competing. And as we all expected, there was simply no competition for him, for a guy like Terence Ruffin. So he wins another pro show he adds one more win to his resume. Now Terence isn't done. After winning Brazil Pro, he's going for Prague Pro too, and there is a chance that he might do one more show before shutting the season down. So let's take a look at a few physique updates. So shout out to Ian Valier for posting this update of Martin Fitzwater, the biggest, roundest he has ever looked in his pro career. So this is about time that the bodybuilding fans, they should start giving Martin the due respect, because he 100% deserves that. Now I personally think, and I even mentioned that in the post-Olympia breakdown, that if Samson Dauda, he wasn't the reigning Olympia champion, Martin would have beaten him and he would have been top 4. That is how good Martin was at the Olympia this year. And do not forget, Martin will be entering this upcoming Prague Pro as the defending champion. So he has earned a lot of confidence after this past weekend. And these 6 days of physique updates, they show you that the man is peeled inside out. So great to see Martin and his team, his coach Stefan, sticking to their strengths. He isn't trying to come in heavier. They made this mistake back at the Pittsburgh Pro. And Martin and Stefan, they quickly realized that he will never be the biggest guy on the stage, especially from the scale perspective. So he has to stick to those things that work the best for him at his Olympia debut. So a few weeks out of the Olympia, if someone said that Martin is gonna beat the mutant, the fans would have trolled them big time. And Martin did beat him, fair and square. And he was top 5 in a very competitive lineup. Way more competitive than last year. And if anyone is sleeping on Martin for this upcoming Prague Pro, they are making a massive blunder.
Gave this pose to Ramon to make it 3 poses to 2. Obviously, an extremely close contest between these guys. Probably can compete against each other 10 times and each would probably win half.
The classic physique battle this year, that was one of the closest battle that we saw in a very long time. And Tyler Mannion is out with his breakdown of this year's classic physique Olympia. So it turns out that hours and hours of posing and all the effort that Ramon Dino put in throughout this year that made the biggest difference, as he narrowly defeated Mike Sommerfeld to be the new Olympia champion. So the scores were 2-2, with Mike winning the front double biceps and the abs and thigh, while Ramon winning the side chest and the back double biceps.
And then finally is the favorite classic pose. For me, I think Ramon did a great job in just sticking with his one arm front lat spread, one arm front double, basically, what you could call a teacup variation of this favorite classic pose.
And the favorite classic pose that went in the favor of Ramon, making him our new classic physique Olympia champion. Also Ramon at the finals, he was the most conditioned guy on the stage, and he increased the gap between him and the other 2 guys during the finals. But this breakdown also proves that not anyone among these top 3 guys, they are gonna be as dominant as Chris Bumstead was, and the title, that is probably gonna keep on changing hands from one year to the next one. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.